If your real estate agent does not do this at the very first meeting, Mama says hit the road, Jack. Go find a new agent. Let's get to it. Hey, come on in and welcome to another episode of Your Real Estate Mama with me, Jan Scott. Every week I share tips, know-how, and encouragement for buyers and sellers. My mission is to educate, inform, and help you make wise choices on your real estate journey. I've been wrangling the real estate market for over 35 years. Along with this gray hair comes a whole lot of wisdom. And if you're new to the podcast, I sure hope you subscribe. Here are the top 5 questions to ask a real estate agent before you commit. Number 1, how many deals have you completed in the past year in these neighborhoods, and how well do you know the area? Well, this question helps gauge the agent's experience and how familiar they are with the area. You don't want someone who has not been through the process many times. Hey, if your crazy Uncle Larry just got his real estate license, do you really want to trust him with the most expensive purchase that you will probably make in your entire life? Well, the answer to that question is no. Buying a home is usually the biggest investment you'll ever make, and you don't want a rookie. The more closings an agent has, the more experienced in handling different situations. It would be a wonderful world if all things went as planned, but there are so many different hands involved in a real estate transaction. There could be a mass of issues waiting around the corner. So make sure your agent is capable of handling what pops up. Knowing your area is so important, and this is why. I remember a subdivision located in one area where most all of the homes had septic tank problems due to a developer and builder error. I went in to list a home in this neighborhood, and the sellers were there to greet me at the door, brought me in, had been there about 2 years, and they started telling me the horror story about the first month that they lived there. Sewage kept backing up in the toilet and backing up in the bathtub and in the shower, and had to go back to the builder to fix it. Come to find out, all of the neighbors in the neighborhood in that area had the same issues. After spending time with this couple and talking to them, I could tell that they had had a real nightmare the first 2 years that they lived in this home, and find out all the neighbors had the same issues. So this neighborhood, kind of in our office, it became known as the crappy subdivision. So realtors in our area that were familiar with it knew to ask when we go in and list, did you have septic tank problems? Did you have them fixed? Have you had the right inspections to make sure that this problem doesn't happen again? That is knowledge that only comes from experienced agents. And an agent who is familiar with the land will know about problems from builders. They will also know where the flooding issues are. They'll know what neighborhoods have been hit by weather. I lived in an area of Alabama that was called Tornado Alley. Know several subdivisions that were completely wiped off the map by tornadoes. Well, 10 years down the road, if that house resells, that's valuable information that you need to know. A good agent will know how to research that. Question number 2, to ask your realtor before you commit, what is your availability for showings? Clarifying availability ensures that you can see homes in a timely manner. You plan accordingly. In other words, you do have the time to spend with me, is what you're asking. How many buyers are you currently working with? Well, I can tell you if an agent is already working with 10 buyers, I can almost assure you they're not going to have time for you. You'll be passed off to a new buyer agent or a closing coordinator or someone who's not experienced that does not know you. You need to know the agent will be available when the time comes and can easily get you in the home. When it comes to searching for a home, I always tell my clients we are a team and it takes both of us. There are various real estate platforms to search. And early on, when I'm getting to know my buyer or my seller, I ask them to get to those and send me the ones that catch their eye so I can learn their taste in homes and what they like. Then I start my own search and send them 2 or 3 that I think they may be interested in. And then when we actually start viewing homes, that's when I see their reaction. I see how they love when they walk into a home. And I tell all of my buyers when I'm working with them, you will know the home that is yours the moment you walk into it. I won't have to sell you because you feel it and you'll know it. And I remember I was relocating this family from California to Alabama. This is many, many years ago. And they were already nervous about coming to Alabama. The kids at school had been teased about coming here and, do we have indoor toilets here in Alabama? I mean, it was amazing how these kids had been teased. And so this was a big move for them, and I really felt for them. So I told them, I said, you will know. It'll feel like home. We walked in, showed them about 5 or 6 homes, and on about the 6th home, she turned around and tears in her eyes, she looked at me and she said, oh, Jan, this is the home. This is my home. I feel it. You're going to know when it's your home, and a good agent will know that. Question number 3, to ask your real estate agent before you commit. What are your fees, and are there any additional broker fees that I should be aware of? This is a very important question. My son, who is recording this podcast, has just looked at me and said, Mom, you're pounding the table. Well, leave it in there because this is very important to all buyers as of August the 17th in the real estate industry. It is changing, folks. It is not like it was. You cannot pick up the telephone, call an agent, and meet them at the house and just go and see it. I'm going to be covering the changes a little bit more at the end of this podcast and at depth in another podcast. But at your first meeting with your agent, before you start looking or really even talking about your first home, they need to give you what I have always called my Buyer 101 class. And I can't tell you how many buyers I've had come into my office. Some have bought many homes over the years and told me not one agent has ever sat down with me, gone through every piece of paperwork that I'm going to be signing first, and they only did that when we found the home at the end of the transaction. Well, I don't care if you have bought one home or you have bought 50, you need to do this before you ever look at a home. An excellent realtor should go over every form you will be signing, including your buyer agency as well as contract to purchase, before ever stepping foot into a home. If your real estate agent does not do this at the very first meeting, Mama says hit the road, Jack. Go find a new agent. You do not need to wait till you find the perfect home to see the contract. All the fees should be shown to you up front. This should be a part of your agent interview. Buyers will need to be proactive now and interview their agents. Find one that can communicate with and explain every detail of the home buying process. We do this already with our sellers, and now it's mandatory with the buyers. Moving on to question number 4 that you need to ask your real estate agent before you commit. What is your negotiation style, and how do I ensure I put my best foot forward? Well, knowing your realtor's negotiation tactics can help you strategize your offers. Oh, I could write a book on this one. I cannot stress enough how important this one is because I have taken offers to other agents and they look at that paper and they say, oh, my seller's not going to take this. Well, my question is, how do you know? Have you presented it to him? They automatically take ownership of the paperwork sometimes, and they don't really know how to look at it objectively, try to work it out, negotiate. It's a give and take. That's what negotiation is, give and take. I'll give you this and I'll take that. And agents need to know how to do that. I'm certified in negotiations, so I know the process. Ask your agent if they are certified in negotiations. Ask them, if my offer is not accepted, how do you handle it? A great agent would already have discussed the what-ifs with you. Let me explain it like this. When we write up an offer together, Hopefully, your agent already has a market analysis on the property that you're looking at, and it prepared you for possibly a counteroffer from the seller. And you'll know ahead of time if you're willing to go up to meet that seller's expectations. Depends on how bad you want the home. It depends on if you qualify for the home. Maybe you need to ask for more closing costs instead of going up on price. There are a lot of factors that you can negotiate. Your agent should give you options. If you truly want the house, they will negotiate it and make it happen for you. Final question, number 5. Do you have any mortgage lenders, lawyers, or inspectors you recommend? Recommendations can provide a sense of realtor professional network and the quality of services they associate with. A good realtor will have already, the moment that you have your Buyer 101 class, hand you a list of professionals, mortgage lenders, lawyers, and home inspectors, already in that packet. And if they don't, Mama says, hit the road, Jack. Find another realtor. A good realtor will connect you with a great mortgage broker who will fight for your interest, especially when you're up against multiple offers. They can help get your offer accepted, even if it's not the highest bid, and ensure that all contingencies are in place. Now, as I mentioned earlier, our real estate industry is changing. As of August the 17th, the rules in the Association of Realtors say that a realtor will not be able to show a home without a signed written agreement between the buyer and the agent. So, what does that mean for you, the consumer? Buyers are going to need to interview agents just like sellers do when they list their homes. It's all about finding the right fit. Someone who understands your needs and communicates well. While bad realtors are a dime a dozen, a good one is a rare gem that can help you avoid a heap of problems. I always like to close out each episode with some mama wisdom and inspiration. Learn to be patient. Good things come to those that wait for God's timing. Isaiah 41:31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." In the home buying or selling process, you will find your need to load up on patience, trust in the journey, and remember that the perfect home for you is worth the wait. Well, that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this episode of Your Real Estate Mama, don't forget to leave a review, rating, or comment on your favorite podcast platform. Feel free to send me an email to jan@yourrealestatemama.com. I love hearing your questions and comments, and I'd be happy to help you find a great real estate agent anywhere you live. Be sure to follow me on Facebook at Your Real Estate Mama Podcast. Until next time, y'all take care. Happy house hunting, and remember, you should always listen to your mama.